Hi everyone, my name is Anthony Hines. For the last 40 plus years, I've tried to help people to develop their career and also to help them if they're in their job search or transitional mode. That is because when you're in a job search mode, you need all the help you can get. My job search podcasts have exploded, and I mean exploded. Hundreds and hundreds of followers on Podbean. Please check them out because they're all from the heart. They're from my experience. They're not from a book, and they tell you what I would do. Okay? Remember this premise, people. This everything I tell you is based on what I would do in certain situations or what I have done in certain situations. I looked forward to feedback, and I also want you to go to my LinkedIn profile. Again, Anthony V Hines is my name, and you go on my profile. There's job search help article out there. It's basically a checklist to help you get your job search moving. I did it in that way so that people will feel that they can control what they're doing. Everything I do is based on my experience as well as your ability to maintain control. What can you control in the job search process, and what do you need to let go and let happen on its own? It doesn't mean it's not going to happen, people. It just has to happen on its own with its own type of schedule. Okay, I say this to a lot of people when they're trying to talk to recruiters, quickly to get a job quickly, or push the envelope. You know what, people? You gotta let the process work. So what you do is you focus on what you can control. Okay, get that? Today we're going to talk a little bit about what to do when you're coming back into the workforce after a long absence. Now, there are many reasons that this could be. Obviously, a relative that's been ill that you had to take care of, as well as obviously an addition to the family or some other personal item that kept you out of the workforce for many years. In my experience, when someone tells me, as a hiring manager in the past, when someone told me they took care of a relative, I actually put them higher on my list. Why? Because they gave of themselves and they made themselves secondary to help a family member. That tells me they're a team player. That tells me that their priorities are in the right place. And that tells me that they are doing the right thing in the overall perspective, in my opinion. So I'm just telling you, as a former hiring manager, that's how I saw people who had taken a break out of the workplace, because I believe that that is commendable. Not everyone feels that way, but that's how I believe. Because remember, people, if you've never been through it, you don't know. Just like the premise of unemployment, if you've never been through it, they don't have any idea what to say or what to do. That's why you always have to tell people how they can help you. All right, same thing with this. If they've never been through a family member being sick or someone they've had to stop their life for, or a new addition to the family, they don't know. Okay, so the fact is, don't try to explain to people that don't know. Just be happy with what you did and just be happy with the choice you made, because you know what? In reality, it is the right choice. Okay, now let's talk to you. First of all, to come back into the workplace, I have to ask you if you know that you are ready to go back in the work mentality. This is not an easy mentally. This is not an easy question for many people to answer. They say yes, but really, in their heart, the answer is sometimes no. I only ask because if your heart is not into it, you will be less apt to succeed completely. Once your answer is really yes, then proceed and learn about my tips. It starts with you, people, okay? The reality is, if you're going back in the workplace, into the workforce, are you really into it? Are you really about to do it? Are you doing it for the right reasons? Once you are and you've made that decision, then really you're on your way. But if you're doing it because someone told you you had to do it, or because you think you have to do it and not for the right reasons, you're asking for trouble. Now, let's start with the easiest answer, and that has been to ask other people you know what they have done in the situation based on their experience and what did they do. Learning from their errors and successes without you reinventing the wheel is very important because you learn from other people. So if you have other people in your life who come back in the workplace, talk with them. Spend some time with them because they're going to tell you what they did right, what they did wrong, and the mistakes they made. So my point is, remember, smart people learn from their mistakes. Smarter people learn from other people's mistakes. Don't ever forget that. So the fact is, use the experiences of other people to help you, and don't be afraid to ask the question. Sometimes, as I say, the people that help you the most are the ones that have lived through it. They're the ones who understand. So always keep that premise in everything you do regarding your time in transition, but especially in coming back in the workforce. Now go to your LinkedIn profile and fill the gap with what you've actually done. Research how to communicate in your profile exactly what your time out of work should be documented and act accordingly. Close the gap so people looking at your profile can see better continuity. The fact is, you got to put something in the profile. So always put something about exactly what you've done and be proud of it. Okay, don't try to hide it. Don't downplay it. You did a great thing. So the fact is, go out and and um, and write it and explain what you did, because that way people will further understand your choices. They'll understand your priorities, be proud of what you did, and understand that a gap is the worst thing you can have in a resume and in a LinkedIn profile, because people will say, well, if they're asking you about this, what else are you hiding? So the fact is, do the gap and make sure you're okay. Make sure you're proud of it and go with that. Now, when you're involved with trying to get in the workplace, you're also trying to gain education. Okay. Now, when you're a LinkedIn job search premium member, you get access to LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning are free courses, okay, that you can take online from LinkedIn that have educational value, and they automatically update once they're completed into your profile. So basically, what it shows is new education that you've just accomplished. You do this because it helps to build your profile. Okay, so the fact of the matter is, take some of these courses because it's really going to help yourself to get back into the learning mode, but get back in the education mode, get back in the work mode. Because as they say, sometimes when you've been out of that, your brain thinks differently or acts differently. So take some of these courses in whatever area of your expertise that you have, and it's going to really ramp you up. Again, going back into the workplace from a home or a non-work environment takes ramping up. So you have to do it. Look at your free courses that may be offered into um, community colleges. Free education is always a win-win, and it adds your skills to make you more employable. Okay? Fact of the matter is, many community colleges offer free education for people in certain groups or certain criteria. You should look into that, and if it's out there, go take it. There's also community centers and local areas that offer free classes, one-day classes. But my point is, every time you take these classes, update your LinkedIn profile, because that shows new education. Your gaps become less when you have new education and new things happening. Have your resume done professionally. The pros know how to write whatever the time off was properly, so it looks the best for you. Yes, it may cost some money, but you're nothing without a good resume. I can send you the people I deal with if you want, or you can look online and read some reviews. My point is to get it done right so you look in the best possible light. I have a resume resource in my LinkedIn article that I told you to pull. Check with that resource, and then you can learn how to have the resume written. You wouldn't change your own engine, right? You wouldn't take the engine out of your car and rebuild it, right? So my point is, when you're doing your resume and you've been out of work for a while, have a professional do it because they know how to write it. They know how to get it through the application process. They know how to deal with it. Have a pro do it, and don't look back. It's going to cost a little money, but so what? Okay? As I say, join some LinkedIn Premium. I've had some great results with this paid option. Plus, it also tells recruiters that you are serious about your job search. You will have jobs emailed to you as well. Then download any type of job apps you can find, or any type of job help apps that you can find, and go from there. Because the fact is, there's a ton of information on the internet now, so why not use it? What I've been saying a lot lately, go to Twitter. Look for jobs on Twitter because there's a lot of jobs there. So the fact of the matter is that you need to build up a little bit about your skills and the like and properly present them. LinkedIn Job Seeker Premium gets you in front of people, gets you in front of recruiters, because remember, recruiters pay big money to get access to job seekers. Make sure you put in your profile that you're looking, and also understand that when you do buy these options, you're getting in front of recruiters. So make sure your resume is right, make sure your profile's up to date, and then that way you have a better chance of being looked at and considered. Basic things, stick with it, go. Now, go out to your profile and make sure that all duties that you did in your previous jobs are out there within that job area. Then think of all the people that you've worked with that know you well and request a link to them, noting that you are getting back into the workforce. If they knew you were great then, why wouldn't they appreciate you? And they would definitely appreciate a connection. Once they connect, stay in touch, as you never know if an old company may want you back. Never assume anything in the search process. It can have many twists and turns. You can get a job in your old company sometimes because that company has grown, or the person you worked with has become a VP or a director, and they're looking for somebody that they know and can trust and will work with them. This happens, people. This happens. So the point is, stay in connection with all these people and understand that that's important. Okay, so go out and do it. Now go to your LinkedIn profile of all your supervisors and all your coworkers that you've had before and recommend them for the great job that they did supervising you, or for the great job they did in the workplace. This is because once you submit it, LinkedIn will ask the person if he or she would like to write a recommendation about you. Some will. This will build your profile up so that when recruiters see it, they will focus less on the gap and more on the good words. Do this with mentors and special coworkers as well. It's just create one recommendation template and tweak it for each person. Watch your profile, then soar in LinkedIn in the LinkedIn rankings, and as LinkedIn loves recommendations and positive items in the profile. Okay? Think about this now. Create a recommendation template. Think of all the people you've worked with, all your supervisors. Write a recommendation for them in whatever aspect they worked with you. And then from there, they'll come back with a recommendation for you. Okay, so what that's going to do is build your profile. And then you take those recommendations. When you have an interview, you print them out, you bring them to the interview, and when it's nice and quiet, you give it to the hiring manager and say, "Hi, here are some recommendations that I received from my previous work." Let me tell you, people, recommendations and things that are positive help hiring managers to make decisions. So give them the ability to make that decision easily for you. And doing the recommendations is key to help you do that. Okay? Make sure you list all your community and volunteer work. Make sure companies love that as companies love the fact that people are doing volunteering and community work, as that is becoming more and more important in companies now because they want to be strong in the community. All right. They like people who are active in the community because they send a positive vibe about their company. Don't discount your volunteering or your community work that you've done because it will help you to get a job. Because companies, as I say, want to be looked upon well in the communities that they're in. And if you've been a volunteer or you've been a mentor, write that stuff in your resume because people like to see that. So never discount that. Never think it doesn't matter. All of your skills matter. They just got to go in the right place. Okay? So never think they don't matter. Just make sure they go in the right place. Join professional organizations in your field that are in your area and immediately sign up to volunteer. That way you meet core people of the organization as well as people who are very active in the chapter or in the group. That said, when you have events, talk to members and then go home and request a LinkedIn connection with the people you have met with. These chapters usually have key job search contacts. Find out who they are and meet with them ASAP. They will help you as that is what their value is to the group. I'm in multiple professional groups, and what I don't run for president, I don't run for VP of this or VP of that. I just do one thing, and that is if people are looking for a job, I ask them to come to me, and I send them to my profile for the article, or I give them my experience, or I talk with them. That's my job. That's my role. Why? I stick in my lane, people. That's what I do. I try to help people in this one area. I don't try to go and broaden out my skills. This is what people need. When you're out of work, you're looking for help to get a job. That's all you care about. You don't care about anything else. That's what I try to do. And that's what I do for my groups that I'm involved with. There are people like that throughout professional groups. When you join the groups, learn about them and sit with them and talk with them. Okay? Be very straight as to why you're not working, why you were not working, and do not shy away from it. I personally have gone on my way to hire, as I've said, people who've helped people. I really believe that that's important. So be proud of what you were and just go with it. Also, too, learn about what you don't know about today's version of your field. Learn about the newest innovations and the way things are now versus when you worked. Get an understanding of the new way and the way that you can discuss how you will bring that understanding to a new job during an interview. That goes back to your LinkedIn learning, right? That goes back to your online learning. That goes back to your free education. You're going to freshen up your skills. We can all talk about projects we did in 1995. That's really good. But how are your skills freshened up? That's what's important. That's what you got to do now. Okay? Also understand that there are many ways to make money today and not just gaining a job. There are income opportunities that exist such as Etsy, Uber, that provide flexibility to people, Airbnb that work in those environments. Maybe one of these could work for you. This is especially true if you have a talent creating something that people will pay for. Even if you do it as a second income until you get a full-time job, many people are doing it and making a good living. Don't discount it. Let me tell you, people, there are many people out there on Etsy, on eBay, on Pinterest that are making good money. Okay? On Uber, there are many people who are doing it. They're making good money, so there's no reason you couldn't do that on the side as you look for a job. Plus, it also helps that you are back in the swing. You learn about online commerce. You learn about things, having to do with the internet, and you're making something that you like to do. So think about that as your second income as you ramp up, because you never know. People have done it. Why not you? Let's talk about the interview process for a minute. Stress the value of what you had to do when you were off. How were you able to handle the pressures, the schedules, the deadlines that had to be followed, as well as the fact that you had to deal with not just 5 days a week, but a lot of times 24/7. So you were well prepared to get back into the rigors of a 5-day week. In a lot of these situations where you had to care for someone or take care of, a new addition or do something like that, it wasn't a 5-day week job. It was a 7-day week job. So you want to project that you were very committed to it, and that was a value. That was something that you needed to do. So never discount that. It's very, very important because you did it. So that's the way it is. Be proud of that. Network as much as you can and do it first with people you know before branching out in order for you to gain confidence. It's a journey, it can be slow, and I want you to take it slow and don't put any more pressure on yourself then you have to stay with the process and focus what you can control. It will not overwhelm you if you focus on the result, which is getting just one job. Remember, you only need one job. Network with people one at a time. Get them, contact them. Keep them in your profile. And remember, you're only looking for one job, so don't let it overwhelm you. There are also many ways to gain some quick experience in your area. One is to volunteer to help a charity with your skill, and another is to talk to a small business owner who you know that may need what you do and offer to help them out for a small stipend or again as a volunteer. This builds up your resume and your LinkedIn profile with new experience. This minimizes your gap. Basically, if you got people you know in your life that could use your skills, maybe they can't pay you, but you can volunteer for them. What's it going to do? It's going to help you get new skills and you're going to help the person out. The fact of the matter is, it's only going to help you to be able to do that. Look for opportunities to be able to do that. If you do it for your charity, understand that these charities are very important to you. So there's no reason you can't learn and as well as get a great satisfaction from helping a charity out, but also understanding that you're building your experiences. There's no reason you can't do it. Let all your friends and family know that you're looking. Make sure that all your Facebook friends know. If you're involved with a church, community activities, let everyone there know you're looking. You never know where the opportunity will come from. Pride is a problem, people. It gets in the way. Let people know you're out and they can help you. Why? Because they probably have a lot of respect for you and they probably really, really want to help you. So tell them how. Let them know you're out. You know, everything I've told you here should help to bring you momentum. That said, I want to stress that the mental adjustment is real and should not be discounted. Okay? Whatever your situation was that kept you out of work, make sure it's stabilized so you won't be interrupted constantly having to leave and go home to deal with things. Company will not like that you make sure will not like people that are constantly dealing with home issues. So make sure that it's under control before you start your job search so you won't have any distractions. People who don't go through it don't get it. So the point is, make sure you're stable before you get out there. Don't force it. If you're not stable, don't get yourself in a position where you'll be leaving all the time because you don't have a stable setup. And I don't mean stable mentally. I mean stable in the situation. Make sure that's right before you go. Most importantly, take care of yourself. Make sure that you eat right, get sleep, and exercise. Stay organized, focused, and positive, and things will work out. Be open to other ways of being employed, such as via consulting or being paid by project. Once you get back in the workforce, then people won't care about the gap as much, as focus will be on the opportunity that is in front of you. So just stay with it and take the search one day at a time. Listen, people, I've given you a lot of ideas here. There's no reason you can't get back in the workforce quickly because people are looking for good people and are always looking for good people. Don't discount your skills. Make sure your profile properly shows everything you've done, and then when you get in that interview, be proud of what you did and be proud of who you are because you did a great thing taking care of that situation. And I mean it. In most cases, you did a great thing. So be proud of it and go with it. And understand that when you build up your education and build up your skills, in these free situations that I told you about, then you have more to give because you have your old set of skills, you have your old friends who've given you recommendations, you have your new education, and you have your experiences from your home situation. These are all really good when they come together because a person that's a hiring manager will see that as someone that can bring value right away to their new job. So own it, take it, go with it, bring it together and do it. There's no reason you can't get a great, and I mean a great job when you get your next job. There's no reason This cannot be your best job ever. Remember, your career is your responsibility, so make it the best it can be. And then I want you to help me to end unemployment one person at a time by telling other people about my podcasts on Podbean and by spreading the word. I really ask you to do that because I want to end unemployment. I don't want people to have that feeling, that lost feeling when they're unemployed, that terrible, terrible stress that they have. And my podcast, I believe, are trying to help people to deal with that, not based on a book, but based on my experience. So, everyone, take my ideas. Feel free to listen a couple of times because I've given you a lot of information here. Go out and do it because there's no reason you can't get a great job. I don't care about the gap. The reality is use it, make it your advantage, and go. My name is Anthony Hines. I've been helping people with their career, either mentoring in careers or helping people with their job search for the last 40 years, and damn proud of it. And I mean it, damn proud of it. You know, sometimes I think about all the people that have come across me, and I can't tell you how thankful I am to have come across them. Because the fact of the matter is, you know, life is short, people, so you got to help as many people as you can to make things better. And you do it in a small way. You do it in your small world, and then things branch out from there. Okay? Maybe that sounds goofy, but it's the way I do it. Okay? Because you know what? The world is tough today. And I don't treat the world that way. I treat the world like it used to be, by getting back to people, by trying to show compassion, by trying to do things to help people for no reason back. I just do it because the world needs people to care. Okay? And I believe it's caring is just something I do. It's about part of who I am. So the fact is, um, use my information, use my experience, because an experience not shared is an experience wasted. Okay? Have a great day, everyone. Go to my profile, get my job search article, and go. And listen to my podcast on Podbean. Have a great day. Bye bye now.